To move on to customs. And customs, recently there was a bust where a significant amount of gold was seized. Perhaps you could tell us a little bit about that, and then also the customs role in terms of gold exports. What does customs do? And what are your observations? What are your organization's capacity issues or challenges? If you could advise us. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair, members of the panel, the regulators and the industry. My name is Ian Herring. I'm from PNG Customs. Basically, we would know the roles of customs, that we secure our border, protect the community, facilitate legitimate trade and travel. We also collect revenue. And recently, we've also had the task of the special economic zones.
Sorry, Ian, for interrupting. What's your position within the organization and your experience, etc.? Thanks.
Okay, apologies, Chair. My position with PNG Customs, I'm the Assistant Commissioner Enforcement. I've been recently appointed to the position, and I have around 20 years experience with customs. So basically, like anything that leaves our country or comes into the country, legitimately is facilitated by customs. But on the information that you gave on the number of gold that is departing the country, it's a big area of concern for customs as well. Just recently, we did a detection of around 22 kg of gold that was supposed to be smuggled out of the country at sections. Unfortunately, our working environment at sections, all the detections are made by NAC and referred to customs. Whereas, like, if those of us that have traveled abroad, everything is under the control of customs, from the entry to the exit. But unfortunately, the challenge that customs faces with at the Jackson's airport is that our officers are restricted to move around the airport to effectively perform our functions. So we are not allowed at the scanning facility. So whatever referral is done by detection is done by NAC, and they are referred to us. Unlike other countries, the developing countries, customs has access to all the areas of airport.
Sorry, Ian, I just want some clarification. I used to be Commissioner of Customs and I worked in this division. I'm very surprised to hear this, because during our time, this must have been a recent amendment, because according to the Customs Act, customs officers have access to all entry and exit points of the country, and there is no restriction, not by NAC or any other organization. So it's very, very surprising to hear this. If there is a directive that has been issued by some organization, our committee would like to see that in writing at some point, in a later presentation or immediately after this. We want to understand how this has come about, that this organization, which is charged with the responsibility of scrutinizing all items entering and leaving our country, has now got restrictions. And we want to know which organization has imposed this restriction. So thank you, Ian.
Chair, thank you. We've actually reached out to our counterparts at the airport, NAC, to have a MOU, an understanding where our officers can be allowed to effectively perform our duties. But we haven't got any positive response from them, but we are working on that. So I'll just give you an example of a detection that customs did. In other countries, when passengers who are traveling abroad, when they enter an airport, they have to go through various different scanning before they board a plane. But for our case at Jackson's, passengers can just come in, check in. There's only one scanning area that they go to, controlled by NAC, and then they go and board a plane. The Jackson Airport doesn't scan the luggages that come through before they do the check-in. But after the check-in, it's NAC who does the scanning. Also the passengers before they go to the departure lounge for boarding. There was a detection made in 2024. There was a foreign national who had on him 5.7 kg of gold bar. So when our officers went in, we had some information, so they asked him to check his bag. That is at the departure lounge. So in the bag was 5.7 kg of gold. So had it gone through the normal scanning, maybe NAC would have advised us. So that clearly indicates that there is a syndicate at the airport that is facilitating all this gold being exported. So we need to tighten, it's my view that we need to tighten the scanning from the entrance until a passenger exits and boards the plane. So if we can do the detection on that particular passenger, we've already gone past through the scanning, then obviously the gold must have gone through other means to go to the passenger to just get a bag and board the plane. Yeah. Yeah.
So Ian, just very quickly, sorry, I want to just understand this. So could this be why there are restrictions to customs movements? Because this is so absurd that I'm surprised to hear this. I've served 16 years in customs, most of which were in the enforcement division, and we were never ever restricted. There are laws there that state that if a customs officer is prevented or restricted, that is an offense in itself.
Yes.
So I'm very surprised to hear that your officers are restricted from certain entry-exit points. It's unheard of in the world. So, and now you've just made a revelation of this particular activity. It seems to suggest that that could be the reason why those restrictions have been imposed. What are your thoughts?
Chair, thank you. We've had our suspicions, but upon detecting of that particular goal at the boarding lounge, I mean, it looks more certain that there's a syndicate involved. So, Chair, I'd like also to recommend that the committee also get information from our transnational crime unit. They would have some information on the gold smuggling at the airport.
Thank you. Please note, Head of Secretariat, the Transnational Crimes Unit would be invited to come at in the continuing hearing. Thank you.
Chair, also early this year, NAC did a detection on 2 foreigners who had in their possession a total of 22 kgs of gold, and they were referred to us.
Ian, can you please speak up? This is very important information, so we'd like you to speak up. Yes.
My apologies.
Thank you.
Earlier this year, there was a detection made by the NAC and referred to us on 2 foreigners who had in their possession the first person of interest at 9.35 kilogram of gold. That is valued at 2.599.861 kina. Million kina, sorry. The second POI had on his possession 13.371 kg of gold with a value of 4.578.929 million kina. This we verified with our counterparts from MRA, and there's also essay report on that the detection. Customs has detained 22 kilograms of gold, and we've instituted proceedings against the 2 person of interest under the Customs Act, under smuggling. So like customs, we have the power to do the arrest on any breach of Customs Act, in this case, smuggling. So we did arrest on the 2 persons of interest. The challenge that we face is we don't have the holding facilities. So in order for us to detain them at a police cell, police, they would only detain the suspects when they have OB number. So it has to come from a police report. But in this case, if we were for customs to give an OB number, police wouldn't detain those POIs in their cells. So that's one of the challenges that we face. So we reach out to immigration to ask us to detain those 2 suspects at the detention center.
Very quickly, Ian, just for clarification, were police involved in the charging of these suspects or not at all?
No, it's only...
So only customs charges were applied?
Yes. We had the case where the Cadmo case,
yes,
when police did arrest, and under Customs Act, the court clearly stated that any breach under Customs Act, it has to be, the customs officers have to do the arrest. So there's a fine demarcation that only customs has to do arrest on customs breaches.
And then the police are basically stating that you can't detain your suspects in their cells.
In their cells, yeah. So
also another very strange revelation here. Yes, I mean, in the past we've had arrests made by customs, and we've always detained our suspects in the police cells. Those police cells are for those purposes. So that's another interesting revelation here.
Yeah, I think it's the administration part where, when police arrest a suspect, they have this AB number, OB number. So that gives rise to them being arrested and locked up in the cell. But in this case, it's a customs arrest. So the 2 POIs were taken to court, and there was a little error, and the court strike our case, both cases out. And now it's going into 1 month now. We are searching for the suspects to rearrest them.
So definitely the suspects aren't going to be waiting around to be arrested. I mean, they're criminals. It's in the criminal's nature to continue, moving and not being detected or apprehended. So we now have a situation where, for whatever reason, the laws do not allow, or there's administrative hiccups that do not allow customs to detain its suspects. That's what you're saying. So if we arrest suspects who are breaching customs laws, then we don't have any way to detain them.
No.
So we have to let them go and hope that they turn up in court next day. Is that the case?
Actually, for the two suspects, we have their passport with us. So it's just that we have to look for them and arrest them. That's the challenge that my officers have been facing, and for this 1 month, we've been going around looking for them.
So, okay, did they have guarantors, people who guaranteed well, obviously not, because they weren't arrested and they don't, therefore they would not be bailed, but where were their last known locations or companies? Do you have the names of the companies that these 2 suspects are employed by or associated with?
Yeah. One is a owner of a company, a group of companies, and the other suspect is just a visitor who was here for a temporary visit and was heading back when we detained him.
But you have the gold?
We have the gold with us. We've already issued a seizure notice.
And they have not contested the seizure?
Not yet. So we've already gone past the 30 days.
So you can now auction the gold?
Well, that depends. But our chief commissioner would have the power to dispose of any seized items, but because it also comes under our friends from Central Bank, our heads will have to liaise on that and decide how we dispose.
How many kilos altogether?
22.
22 kilos of gold.
22.7 to 8.80 kg. That's worth around 1,178,791 kina.
Have you checked with migration to see if they've exited the country?
Chair, we have their passport with us.
Oh, okay.
Governor,
Thank
can
you.
I shed some light on this
Yes,
matter?
please.
Yeah. So currently the goal with the state, so to speak, we through the proceeds of Crime Act, we applying for restraint on those assets, and it's good to hear that they are not contesting it. So the next phase of that would be to apply for it to be forfeited to the state. That's when the auction bid comes in. So that process is on queue. Yeah.
Thank you. What about the case itself, the prosecution of the offences committed by these two individuals? Are you reviewing that with the intention of taking it back to court?
Yes, Chair. I don't want our legal, most likely at the courthouse now. We are trying to file information for the court to give us the warrant to arrest, so we can seek assistance from police to physically go around, look for them and pick them up. So we will be prosecuting the case, and we hope to get a successful outcome because of this anti-money laundering. So the Customs is focused on these two cases to have them successfully prosecuted.
Thank you, Ian.
Chair, sorry, may I also give another detection that our officers did at Wanimo. The situation at Wanimo is not like the one here in Mosby. Our officers in Wanimo are always under threat of this transnational crime. And when landowners, there was an incident where one of the landowners brought in something. When our officers asked to check the items, what the landowners shouted at our officers was that your government hasn't settled our land, and why do you have to stop us? You know, that's an issue with our officers at the border. And obviously we would need the presence of other line agencies in order for our officers to effectively perform their duties. We had a detection of some minerals leaving the country, and we detained the items, and we approached our friends from MRA to do the test. And our court, they also got struck out because of technical errors. So our lawyers are working on that to fine-tune it. For so long, Customs hasn't done any prosecution on legal, and this is the first 4 cases that we are working on. So we are hopeful to get a successful prosecution from these cases.
Thank you very much, Mr. Herring, for your insight. And Customs is responsible for authorizing all exports via the export documents that the agents would lodge on behalf of the companies that are legally exporting gold. Am I correct?
Yes, Chairman.
So you would have records of all gold exports legally leaving the country. Is that fair to say?
Yes, Chairman. It's all captured in the system.
Okay, thank you.
Chair, sorry, just one more thing. The export of gold, Customs, we don't collect any duty on that. It's only the technical entry fee that we collect. So.
The levies are collected by MRA,
Yes.
not...
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. We have a presentation due unless we want to break for lunch and then come back, or panel members? Okay, we'll have lunch first and then we'll hear from Dr. Kelma and Sean. Thank you very much.